Welcome back, everybody, and a little bit of custom action to get the day going here. And what a game we've got, right? We're going to see Spacestation Gaming off for the first time on the broadcast, going up against Native Gaming to close out the pool play. SSG obviously top of the pool at the moment. Yet to drop a series for Native Gaming. This is a big one, though. Yeah, welcome along for day 2. Onset and I's first time in the booth here. Excited for not just this match, but many, many more matches to come for the rest of the weekend. We hope you're having a great HCS Atlanta so far. We're kicking things off here for us in the booth with more Spacestation Gaming. We've had the pleasure of taking a look at a few of their matches, actually 2 of them yesterday. And the team looks good, and it's safe to say, Mark, right now, this is a different-looking SSG. They're going to look to carry that momentum into not just this series, but into bracket play as well. Yeah, it's going to be a big, big day for SSG and a lot of our top teams today, so make sure that you're locked in for everything that Atlanta has to offer. And you have to say this is a huge series for APG and Native Gaming as well. We just saw them a little bit earlier go up against Quadrant, were able to get any games on the board there, and looked to struggle a little bit against a team who gave SSG a little bit of a, I would say, a battle in the first series that we saw the broadcast, but ultimately came up short. So for SSG, this is just about getting the job done. Yeah, we'll see what Native Gaming can do. Once again, quite an international squad on this roster with the addition of Tapping. Barcode, of course, becoming pretty much a household name during his rise, but I think Barcode, it's been quiet, right? In the past few events, of course, also had some trouble getting to certain events. So I think Barcode looking for a big kind of resurgence back to the scene for his story. Of course, Tapping Buttons now alongside veteran players in APG, as well as Lqgend, going to look to remind everyone why he's one of the most talked about as well. Well, early on here, the scoring has been heavily in the favor of Spacestation Gaming. No surprise to see that when you do get an element of control that Eco certainly doesn't have right now. By the way, that player count that we just saw from Eco was the perfect reaction to exactly what happened. Heartbreak, sadness combined into one awful breakfast roll. Anyway, it's going to be Native Gaming who finally looks to get control of B. And control of B is such an important thing to have. It gives you that pivot to work around with A and C. Gilkey trying to make something happen at Nest. Lqgend looks like he's cleaned up the work in basement to now flip the A and C hold. For the moment, they will continue scoring at the 38 mark and now look to once again just trap the opponent at B and see if they need to rotate. But right now, very good continued control from the side of Spacestation Gaming. Yeah, you know this control's good when Lqgend's still got half an overshield and he hasn't been able to fire a bullet. So finally he finds a target to try and take out. APG shouldn't be too long for this world, as he will be taken down eventually thanks to Eco. And look at this, I mean, he's still got a quarter of the overshield and hasn't really had an individual battle until now that he wins against Barcode. This is just ruthless coming in from SSG. We know how difficult this game type is to get out of a trap once you find yourself 4 dead, and SSG are taking no prisoners right now. With the AC hold, you had a feeling the trip gap was coming, and like you said, really well done there from Lqgend. I also love specifically while we have a second, because this game's getting out of hand quick. Love what I see from Lqgend there, where he pre-nades bottom Nest, and instead of focusing on it, he just checks right back car as well, and knows that he has the not just the time, but the overshield as well to play with, and then he uses that to still easily take out Barcode on E2. So it's just really efficient overshield use as well to make sure they continue scoring now, 117-7. It's a great example of why you see players like Lqgend with high damage stats as well. A lot of times you see people at home going, how's this guy got so much damage in the game? It's because they're not locked onto one target at all times. It's whoever is the priority target. If they can do damage while they're turning back to their original target, then all the better, right? And it's a great example of that coming in from Lqgend. A is going to be reset here, thanks to the help from StelluR onto Eco to keep him alive, and also, of course, to reset that stronghold. And we're going to see A and B now, the 2 hold. And you have to say, Native Gaming, even though the slays aren't like out of hand for them, Tapping's having a little bit of a slow one. It's just this continual pressure from SSG after these spawns, like we're seeing from StelluR, it's just stifling them at the moment. I agree. It's actually, to me, more impressive that Native has as many kills as they do, yet Spacestation's leading this much on the Spacestation side, because it shows just how efficient they're being with which kills they're selecting to maintain their control. StelluR with an overshield again still has a little bit to play with. We'll be able to get 2. Might even come back for APG. Discipline. Okay, discipline though. Could have come back for APG. Would have every right to, right? He's 156-8. They've picked up a couple of kills. It's 3 dead now for Native Gaming, but instead plays his life and makes sure that he can pressurize the next set of spawners as quickly as possible. And I mean, SSG are just running away with this. It's a triple cap again. It's 170 points now, the mark that has been crossed, and only the 8 for Native Gaming. I'm going to bring it up now because we might not even have that much time to do it. It's a really great point you bring up about being able to select multiple targets during battles that would otherwise kind of be isolated 1v1s. I think you can really take a look and even get your damage to something like, just by the way, continued here, damage coming in, 3 dead once again. Barcode's your first spawner, but you really can get your damage, I would say 30 to 40% higher, if not more, when you are playing with your head on a swivel. It's a frenzy, by the way, for StelluR in the feed, if you were wondering just how well this team is doing. 17-6 for the man here, and they are not
slowing down whatsoever. 240 points on the board, 10 to go.
I mean, you take it back to a few moments ago, right? We're saying he didn't challenge APG, played his life, and that's what happened. You end up with a killing frenzy, 10 without response for StelluR, which takes him to 18-7 in this game. Barcode's going to be disposed of as well, thanks to a little bit of a thrust, and the game will be done and dusted. SSG with a dominant Game 1 performance here, 250-8.
They also outslay 50-30 even. Very rare that you see a stat line like that coming in a match of Strongholds, but man, what a match that we just saw. StelluR once again does end the game 18-7. Leads the game unsurprisingly in the kills category. Impressive stuff from SSG. We'll jump back into this series when we get back from this break. Welcome back, everybody, to Atlanta. Welcome back to the series. We just left a few moments ago. Spacestation Gaming taking the first game of the series extremely convincingly with a 250 point, I think it was 8 final score that we did see coming in. Now we move on to game number 2, though, and already 3 to the good here on Slayer. Yeah, look at just the patience here. You can just tell with the L and the back A plays already 5-2, and Spacestation is being so careful with the way they approach that. I love that from StelluR's POV. The Shroud, of course, made things pretty chaotic, but just really took his time to make sure he was outmaneuvering, and then they moved back A together to keep the lead. However, Native answers back with another one of their own to keep things close.
Doesn't quite connect with that first shot with the Bulldog there, but manages to clean up the damage. And Native, you have to say, after going down convincingly, when you imagine losing most of the weaponry on the map as well, did a pretty good job to bring this back within 2. But by doing so, they have allowed Bound to get that first camo of the game. And Bound, he's going hunting at the moment for APG, misses a few shots, misses even more, but finally connects with the most important one to get the kill.
See how he plays this as well. A lot of pressure coming in. They're probably going to flood and fly. Almost does it to Barcode. In the end, he is taken down, so the game will stay close here. 8-6, and a whole lot of action in the police department.
Lqgend will come in and pick up his double kill off the back of Barcode, starting the procession of double kills inside of the PD. And a 4-kill difference has been established now on the side of SSG once more. Commando shots are going to be good, but not enough to clean up kills. It's just damage being put down consistently here. A couple of players trapped in the arcade, and now it might be kills, but no, there's that darn bloom. Can't quite connect with that headshot.
It's futuristic Space Commando, really not hitting the shots that it needed to. I think it was from the future.
You need to get the branding team for Halo, by the way.
I think it was from the future where the bullets don't register as well. 12-10 here for SSG. Still a lot of action around PD tires and back A, a lot of fighting for that same area really over the past few moments of play.
The quicker this game goes, the more it kind of lends itself to native gaming. If you keep it scrappy, you can keep these 1v1s going and not follow up on the teamwork. It's going to allow them a way back into the game, and that's exactly what we see now. It's a 1-kill difference, and native gaming have actually managed to turn over the early lead that SSG had, and tapping buttons. Well, you can't see him. Well, certainly can't see him very easily at the moment, but he can't find any targets because Bound and StelluR are picking up kills themselves.
Going to be very selective with which buttons he taps here over these next few moments. Not a lot of camo still left. By the way, he went 5-12 last game. Going to look to correct that here in game number 2.
4-2 to start this game off, and with a Bulldog in his hands and a beatdown to follow it up. Turns that 4 into a 5. A tight game here as the game does just start to slow down momentarily. Information going to be collected here. As you can see, that he's got the info that a couple of members of SSG are still trapped inside of Tram. That Bulldog is going to scare Lqgend away, but the frag grenade will get the work done for him. So, game tied up at 16 as we cross the 9 minutes left mark in this game. And you would imagine pretty soon that the attention will turn from kills to that camo coming back on the map.
A lot of presence here on Driveway. Gosh, 3 players around Commando and bottom C, but Lqgend is going to just tiptoe in between all of them. Maybe gets the help as well from Bound. Ego comes in, and it is a perfectly timed, perfectly coordinated push. One last player here on the B stairs. I think they know about him. They do. That will essentially be a staggered 4 dead. Gilkey's one of your first spawners here on the spikes, but that exchange of play will now get a 4-kill lead for Spacestation. Perfectly executed there.
Yeah, that's bait and switching at its best, right? Just look at the damage output. Look at the importance of recognizing what play had to stay alive for SSG. If we can keep Lqgend alive, then we're going to be able to come back and he's going to be able to deal more damage and clean up some kills. But for now, he's going to check his corners. APG moved corners, and Lqgend should now clean up this kill. Gets a second as well. Barcode, no shields whatsoever, and has his head removed by that bandit rifle.
3 dead. Native, though, keeping this close. Keep in mind, that was just a back-to-back 3 dead and followed by a 4 dead, and still the game is within 5. So a pretty big deal, the fact that Native managed to trade. Speaking of trades, no trade for Gilkey there. Good shots from Lqgend. Should be a clean camo grab for StelluR, and they're going to look to extend their lead.
Really good, just genuine piece of teamwork there, right? Incredible shots early on from Lqgend to create the opening. Then the Shroud goes down. The process is going to be followed to make sure that they secure that camo. And now StelluR's just trying to make sure he stays alive with it. And one thing I love about watching StelluR gameplay is he's always risk adverse, right? A lot of players might have thought, oh, I'm going to die here. Let me try and get some damage down. But he's thinking, I've got camo. I need to make the most out of this. I need to extend my life and get some more kills. But unfortunately, he walks into the trap, and it's going to be the camo that's taken care of, as SSG will still have a lead as Native Gaming take the camo out, but not without taking some damage themselves.
Yeah, Tapping and Gilky do really well there to shut down that driveway push. There was actually 2 guns on StelluR. It looked like maybe from the first POV that he might have been outshot in the end, though it was Tapping from top C that helped out with that battle. Game getting a little bit more distant here, though, for Native Gaming. Now find themselves down by 7. Make that 6-32-26. But as you said, really surprising that StelluR stays alive there with the camo. It's a really good play, but also maybe a little bit of lack of communication. They had a player on B stairs as he was shooting garbage. Really should have been a little bit more comms there of where that player was to try to shut down the camo. Instead, it's led to a sizable lead, but Native Gaming claw their way back. They keep the game within 2.
Yeah, that was a 4 dead followed by a 2 dead. So they really are starting to cycle SSG here, and if they can avoid getting traded out a few times, then that lead is going to disappear extremely quickly. And that's exactly where we find ourselves now. It's a 1-kill difference between these two teams, and this has been quite the comeback from Native Gaming.
I mean, this is incredible. Down by 7 moments ago. It feels like less than 90 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Down by 7 kills, and then now only find themselves down by 1. It's a really impressive series of events and swing of play coming in here for Native Gaming as they look to tie the series up. Only down by 2.
Gilky went on a little bit of a run there, but if you look at his overall stat line, you can see he was probably struggling a little bit before that as he sits at 6-12 after that run is complete. Speaking of running, it's what StelluR's going to be doing right now because he's got that camo in his hands and somehow manages to, let's calculate the exact amount of splash damage you take from that nade. Stayed alive for a little bit with the camo, but finally will be taken out. But now you're seeing Native Gaming collapse. It's a 4 dead for SSG, and you're seeing the lead flip back over to Native Gaming.
For the first time here, Native Gaming will lead in the Slayer, and I think if people had put their bets down 2 or 3 minutes ago, you would not have thought we'd end up here. 37-36, Native Gaming now in the lead.
Good damage coming in from Barcode as well. We'll get that kill. Stuck him just for good measure as well. It's 3 dead. It might even be 4 as APG wins a big 1v1 against Lqgend. That was 4 dead for SSG, and they're going to be squad spawning all together somewhere, and Native can collapse.
Very, very big win there for APG. APG fans going to like what they just saw on screen. That keeps the game now within 4. Things would have been very different if Lqgend wins that battle on the dumpster.
So SSG now deciding they have to slow things down. They have to get 4 back on the map, and by doing so, they've managed to get that first pick as well. Barcode will be taken down by StelluR, and that just gives them a little bit of space on the map here, SSG, to make a play off the back of. However, here comes the collapse, here comes the flood, and Native are trying to keep this pace up. They realize if they get a couple of members of SSG down and they can hit them as quickly as possible off the respawn, that's where their success is coming. It's just 6 kills to win now to tie up this series for Native.
Very comfortable position here. Not easy against SSG, but it's a comfortable one. A 4-kill lead gives you the opportunity to put together essentially, you know, the most standard pushes should result in a win here. As long as they can hold, wait for this next camo and play it correctly. A 4-kill lead is the exact kind of cushion you'd want at this stage of the game.
Just looking across the stat line here, it's Barcode who's leading the way alongside tapping buttons for kills on the side of Native Gaming. Barcode 15 and 10 on the other side, by the way, a standout stat. Lqgend is 17 and 8 in this game at the moment. The trades are going to come in, and that's fine. For Native Gaming here, they're trying to push, they're trying to put the pressure on. But it looks like SSG got the better of that battle. Eco gets another one, and all of a sudden, this is getting a little bit dicey. It's just a 2-kill advantage. And if I'm not mistaken, I just heard the camo pop.
You did a great job from the observers there to keep an eye on camo during that push. By the way, Spacestation going about 10 seconds prior to camo popping. Notice they did not wait to try to fight the camo from their side. They went straight into A. They took over the courtyard in PD, and they now come away with the camo. What can Bound do?
Well, Bound's going in and does get the help from Eco. I was a little bit worried there that looked like an isolated fight, but he knows better. And now you can see tapping buttons gets 2. It's a 1v1 here on the Red Room. Help will be arriving pretty soon, but Bound gets that kill, and it's a 1-kill game, making a 0-kill game. We are all tied up at 47 apiece.
Wow, so well played by Spacestation over these last series of plays. Tied up here at the 47 mark. Here comes the push.
Oh, you don't want to throw this one away if you're Native Gaming, but look at the pressure now coming in from Bound. He gets one, going to be traded out. It's 1 to go here for either team. It's 49-49, and APG will step up and get that final kill. Native Gaming tie the series up.
Oh my God, we're going to have to watch that one back. Unbelievable. You thought the 2 players back in were going to get that kill, Instead, it's APG who somehow sneaks it out for the 50-49.
Yeah, incredible stuff. And I tell you what, this series just got extremely, extremely interesting. 1-1 is where we find ourselves. And don't go too far. We'll jump to a break, but we'll be straight into Game 3 as soon as we can. Welcome back, everybody, to a series that just got extremely interesting in double quick time. It was a 50-49 win in the previous map on Street Slayer for Native Gaming to tie this series up at 1-1. And you've got to be thinking that SSG will be a little bit pissed about what just happened.
Yeah, pretty wild. I think everyone in the room as well was expecting this to be a really different series than normally we would expect, based off of how the first half of that Slayer went, that this could kind of be a victory lap CTF for the side of Space Station. Instead, it's a 50-49 stolen win coming out after Native Gaming was trailing by 7 kills, well past the mid-game. Impressive stuff, and as you say, not only does it make this series interesting, it starts to raise similar questions about SSG's tournament run, right? Whenever we saw things that were a bit concerning in the early rounds of the tournament, it was a very different result for them in London. They're going to try to avoid that at all costs here and make sure they get another win on the board.
I was going to say, if they wanted something like that to happen, probably better now in a series like this before bracket play, just to kind of refocus the team and say, hey, this can't happen again. I'm happy it's happened now to remind us that it cannot happen again when we get a little bit later in the bracket. So expecting SSG to bounce back here and maybe just be a little bit more methodical and a little bit more deliberate in the way that they see through some of these pushes and some of these flag runs in this game. But early on here, you can see StelluR. He's got a sniper rifle. It's never a bad idea to be on his POV. Outside of this POV, though, it's bound. He's picking up a few kills, and there's going to be a second one after the body shot. He's going to allow the frag grenade to do the damage.
StelluR, the confidence out of this guy with the sniper rifle, I think he's becoming maybe even better over the last few events of his career, which normally he's already putting up unbelievable numbers and almost does it to Barcode as well. Finally taken down, but good signs of very vibrant life out of StelluR. It was 3 dead for SSG for the moment, though. Here comes the Native Gaming pressure. Yeah,
I was going to say, it's a really actually good push from Native Gaming as well. It's one thing to push StelluR in a 1v1, but if it's 2 players, it just causes a little bit of indecision, right? Who do I want to try and take down? Well, he couldn't hit the headshot or get the kill on either, and now Barcode's in your courtyard, and he's got a sniper rifle himself, and we've seen what this Australian could do. But unfortunately, he's not going to get too much of an opportunity to do anything, as he will be traded out in the tower by Lqgend.
Lqgend gets caught off there. Looks like he was just like kind of holding forward for a second. Maybe even had a really quick screen glance to a teammate because he got kind of down 2 shots very early on, which you normally wouldn't see. Speaking of, though, it was 3 dead yet again. The first player there is StelluR in the court. He's weak, he's sniping, and he will be taken down. This should be a flag run now. Lqgend, your first spawner. Yeah, that's a really, really important kill as well from Tapping, because if StelluR gets away there, he's got a snipe, and he can easily collapse and get that snipe away and get those shots away. And now you're going to see the nades being avoided. You're seeing the flag being run. Bound got a double kill. Now it's a race. Can Tapping get this flag back to his base before the pressure comes in from SSG? Boy. It looks like the long haul push is arriving, and now it's about the kills. APG in a position on the green to do something, but Bound shuts it down. But Gilkey's going to force it home. Wow, good shot by the Observer to just catch that. I don't understand how in that scenario Gilkey was able to do that. Somehow APG stays alive long enough as well to just distract the pressure, but Gilkey comes off of his first BR. But just as quickly as we say that, StelluR now running this counter, and it's going to cost them. We will still be tied up here at 1-1. Back-to-back flags. SSG will counter off of the pull, but big play from Gilk to make sure it wasn't the other way around.
Yeah, great play from Gilk, but scary moments here for Native Gaming, because it's not just 1 kill, it was successive, pretty much 3 or 4 deads coming in from SSG, and they were looking to double cap. It looks like a couple of trades have come in just to slow down this push and make SSG think about keeping the weapons in their hand instead of sending a flag home. So a good job actually from Native Gaming to let that one go, refight for control of their base, and make SSG just work a little bit harder than they wanted to.
Eco now going to retreat, try to stay alive. As you see, he is the last player alive. That flag will be on the run as well.
Flag's moving. Native got across the map here, and Eco's going to have some work to do. He knows there's a push coming in, a slide under from APG. 2 players going to try and push him out as well. The Bulldog is doing damage, but cannot get the kill. But where is that flag? It looks like it has been stopped momentarily. So a little bit of a reset on the map here. APG connects with the body, and this is a brawling sword, and a teammate is certainly going to make that a little bit more ugly.
Unlucky there. Pre-nades there. Didn't know the Barcode was going to wrap the corner. All the snipe ammo will go to APG, and it could just be a well-disguised ploy to have a lot more snipe ammo.
Yeah, we've all done it.
If there's one way to fake that, that was a very good handling.
Especially when your teammate's been in sword all game and he's -3. It's very frustrating. But StelluR gets a double kill here. And it looks like SSG trying to put a little bit of pressure onto Native Gaming's side of the map once more. Eco with yet one more, and Gilkey finds himself as last alive, trapped on the cuts, and Lqgend is pushing through this high side of the map at the moment. First they realize they've got to get some kills, but Gilkey with a big kill, and that's caught me off guard a little bit. Seeing Lqgend with an uncharacteristic battle, which you expect him to win, not going his way.
Big battle for Rockets here. We'll see who comes out on top. Right now, the numbers do favor Native. More pressure coming in from Green. Maybe the Boom Booms are going to have something to say about that, but look how quickly SSG backs off of that. They actually force a Rocket burn, and then they get the second. What a play there by SSG. There's a lot of nuance there that really you can't see unless you have played this game many, many times. Really well done there for SSG to fake a double Green push. They split, they force the burn of the first rocket. They actually bait out before the second rocket can even get fired. It's a very good counter from SSG. APG with a tiny bit of overshield left.
Still a rocket to play with though for StelluR. He collected that and made sure the overshield would be destroyed as quickly as possible. The overextension coming in from Barcode here through the cuts. I was about to question if he had the timing to maybe get that one just towards the long haul or the cut side, depending upon where his teammate help was going to come in. But it seems like SSG were aware of that overextension. He just got caught out. Some shots came in and they were able to clean it up pretty comfortably.
Here comes a double long push. Should work out. It's a really nice job there, though, to make sure that actually StelluR gets taken down on that long haul push. Otherwise, it could have been a lot of danger. It forces Lqgend to retreat as well. Going to now run into Gilk. Clean shots from Gilk.
I was going to say, this is the first battle that we've seen won in the 1v1 scenario. On the side of Native Gaming, we know there's a huge amount of talent on this team, but to take those 1v1 so confidently, it really does ask questions of SSG, right? They're so used to being able to engage in those fights, win those fights, and then play off the back of it, but Native are giving as good as they get in this game. And StelluR's got that new sniper rifle. Gilky's going to try and poke and prod, but you're looking at how StelluR's playing this, and he's trying to play his life right now because teammates are falling around him.
See what we could do. Still a few players around Sword. Tapping has just dropped. Knows he needs to check all of his corners to maintain height here, but probably still getting a call out based on the way he's moving around. But there's still a player around Sword. You hear the footsteps right now. Ow! Ow! Man, he might do wow. Really nice play once again from Gilky. Good string of events coming from him. The back-to-back 1v1 wins against the might do it again. Wow, really good plays here. Gilky doing everything he can, and honestly, that's what you expect from a player like him.
Barcode, while all this carnage is going down, this is a very, very sneaky play, and if you get this one through the long haul, or certainly towards it, there might be an opportunity to be a bit cheeky with this flag run, but the wrap comes through. Now it's about kills. Still 2 dead for Spacestation. Gilky picks up another, and they've got a touch on that flag. And all of a sudden, the cheeky pull has turned into a real opportunity to convert here. Eco trying to fly through the green hole, but Gilky's still behind them. And now you're going to see the sniper in the hands of Gilky. Even though the flag is down, SSG are going to have to commit and show themselves to the sniper rifle, which is in the hands of the man on your screen.
Let's see what happens here with the overshield as well. That flag will go back. Gilky now going to have the rocks. In the end, that flag will get slowed down. Tapping buttons hits a remote detonation. Overshield's still up, by the way. Big shout to the Observer team, entire production here in Atlanta. Holding things down for us. It will be an overshield grab, as you just saw off screen. We'll see now with 4 minutes in play. Tapping might be able to make something happen. You have to think a flag at this stage of the game could be the winner.
Yeah, the interesting thing, though, I will say, is that Native Gaming on that push, they had rockets, they had a sniper rifle in the hands of Gilk. They got that flag pretty far, and SSG were not only able to stop it, but able to send it home pretty comfortably. And now you're going to see Tapping Buttons gets the overshield off the back of it as well, and they're just not able to create anything with the power that they're getting on the map. So SSG defensively have been superb in the last few minutes. It's up to Native Gaming to try and make the most of these opportunities.
Tapping staying alive, top tower as long as he can for a moment. All of their base belonged to him, but he was taken down on the trade. 2 dead for SSG, however. So we should see Barcode and company be able to make something happen here.
Bound's got the repulse and Bound will get the kill off the back of it. 2 dead here for Native Gaming. This is an opportunity here for maybe a push to come in, but you can see it's just a little bit staggered. There's not a lot of space being taken because Native Gaming are following up on that damage as quickly as possible to make sure the numbers never get out of hand. And Tapping Buttons inside of that sword once more. He's going to try and get some angles on these respawners now that he just took down. One of them is StelluR, who runs straight into the bandit. Some help coming through as well onto Eco. Can they get that kill? Because there's an opportunity. Look at the split that's on the map.
Tapping with a really nice set of plays there. You might have seen for a moment there. He gets off the spawn. He kills StelluR right away, gets the kill under bridge, and then he goes all the way into Sword. He's able to get that kill and even push forward and help with the next 2 kills. So it was a nice push from StelluR to shut down everything that we needed to see. However, in the end, flags will stay at home. Gilky pokes for just a second, and StelluR absolutely peels. 2:39 left on the clock.
Maybe this is what it's going to take for SSG to get a little bit of map control, right? StelluR's going to have to just take out multiple members with this sniper rifle. But every time you're looking at the kill feed at the moment, it's just trade, trade, trade. Nobody seems to be able to get a 2 or 3 down consecutively to get the shape on the map that they need to get that flag moving. Bound with 1 again. That's going to be 2 dead on the side of Native. Maybe this is the opportunity. As StelluR's now going to reposition, try and assist Bound. And now they have Native trapped in that courtyard.
Things are getting dicey. You can feel the tension here. Not a shot fired just yet. Finally, Barcode's the first to fall. 2 fall here for Native Gaming. On paper, this should be good. However, Native makes sure to trade one out with Eco.
Rocket's coming up as well. Look at the power that StelluR has in his hands. He's got a sniper rifle with plenty of bullets. He's got the rockets as well. And he just needs to say to Bound, you've just got your kill. Just run that flag. Lqgend gets another one as well. And surely this is the opportunity here to convert for SSG. They have the rockets. They have the snipe. The flag is already in that long haul. And now for Native Gaming, they've got to worry about a wild StelluR coming in behind you. There's a rocket from downtown, and you get the feeling there might be more to follow.
This one's got to go home. APG, I was going to say someone's ahead, someone's forward on the map. It was APG here in the cuts. The numbers felt strange. I think everyone watching, and I'm sure you, Mark, as well, felt there was someone forward. It was APG who tried to make something happen. It was Goki as well. StelluR, though, making sure to hit that really nice rocket under bridge. That's looked easy maybe on the screen, but it's a tough angle to nail. In the end, it's really good base control, really good also run control coming in from SSG. God, man, that AR hit harder than mine has ever hit.
I was going to say, that thing, maybe he's on the new patch. Who knows? But Bound certainly shredding away at some of the Native players, and they will feel a lot more comfortable now, having converted that flag, knowing there's less than a minute left, and they are killing Native Gaming on their side of the map.
Really good timing. Also, really, how slow they ran that, how slow they played that. 3 dead, though. As quickly as we say that, Eco's your last player alive. He's in Sword, which will help the SSG spawners, but still 40 seconds on the clock.
APG trying to play this one sneaky. Bulldog, little 2-pump coming in. The short-range weapon certainly working here for SSG at the moment. Inside of the base, though, Barcode's going to get a double kill. And look at the shape now that they have to run this flag. Barcode takes some damage. There is an overextender in Lqgend who might be able to collapse, but it's Eco who comes back to clear his base, and by doing so, might just secure the game here for SSG.
Eco has shut this down. They were not ready for that angle. They were not ready for the trading angle. You could tell they lost track. I think they maybe thought Eco was still in Sword or something. That flag will go home. 5 seconds left on the clock.
5 seconds left. That's going to dissipate. Nobody is in position to get that flag moving, and SSG, even though it was a scrap, even though it was a war, go up 2-1 in this series against Native Gaming. Game 4 is coming up just after this. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Atlanta. Welcome to a series which has taken some interesting twists and turns to lead us to the position we find ourselves in right now. Spacestation Gaming 2-1 up over Native Gaming, who had to fight their way all the way through the open bracket to get into the pools. And now they find themselves giving one heck of a battle to SSG. It's 2-1, but I don't think that really tells the whole story of the series, Andy. These games have been close outside of that first one.
Yeah, they really have, and I think that game 2 has really made things, of course, interesting. If you didn't catch it, that was a 50-49 Native Gaming comeback win that sends us now to this stage of the series. And for me, let's see if Bound can do this first. No, APG wins that battle in the back of Elevator. But for me, the question here is, does SSG take this game handily and make this series one that we don't think about? Or does this go to a game 5 and all of a sudden start to ask questions about SSG's entire tournament run? Those, I think, are really the 2 scenarios here. We'll see SSG with an early lead in round number 1 of ball.
Early lead, but 3 dead for now. Bound coming off the respawn, and APG, the man who got that 50th kill in that second game and who has been partaking in some of the most beautiful poetic trash talk I've seen in the open bracket so far. Has the opportunity to hit a few more shots. There's a connection on the body, but not enough to get the kill after the melee hits. As SSG now take 3 members of Native Gaming down. It's going to be a comfortable look for them at that odd ball, but you can see it's trying to be rotated towards Bound, who's taking a little bit of damage.
Really like that play from APG as well. Just make sure to burn 2 of the shock shots, then burns the 3rd on the attempted kill, and there's only 1 left. So really nice conservative play coming in from APG off of that series as well.
2 down the side of Native once more. You see StelluR's trying to push onto APG to clean up some damage, gets that kill, and now you're going to see the rotate maybe move in the direction of where those kills start to come in. But if the kills come in, I mean, there's no real reason for Eco to have to move, right? Because he's got the freedom of the map. Now he's going to help his teammate out. Kills being picked up elsewhere by SSG members, and Native Gaming struggling to break through the setup, and they've allowed StelluR to get the camo as well.
Beautiful little job there to catch StelluR's little 3rd base slide into that camo grab perfectly in the picture-in-picture from the observing team. And not only that, StelluR's also putting it to use so far, just holding down the angles. Eventually taken down, though, so it will be an advantage for Native Gaming despite that camo hold. Eco going to put a little bit more time on the board, go to sword plat, just so we can always play this ball. Just gets a little extra time. The ball will now be played to bottom middle, but not before a 61-1 point lead. This is clinical from Spacestation Gaming.
Yeah, you can see that Native want to try and get that ball back towards the long haul as quickly as possible off the respawn, having got those kills, knowing that pipe spawns, elevator spawns, probably most likely to come in for SSG. And to create some space between them, the oddball and those respawners will allow them to get a little bit of time. The only problem is, space is great, kills not coming alongside it. And you see Bound trying to move in here. Gilkey decides that maybe he needs a little bit of a freshen up with a swim himself as he walks backwards and moonwalks off the edge of blue, and that'll be SSG with a comfortable break and only 8 points collected there by Native.
One thing I got to point out, StelluR picks up another kill. By the way, 7 kills on the board for him, 9 for Bound. He's not done here in gold. Boy, that was dicey, but somehow comes out with still 75% shields, which could have been much, much worse if you ask me in terms of how that played out. One thing I got to point out was Lqgend hitting that drop slide to C plat and getting into that battle so fast. That's the reason SSG can do things much quicker, because off screen, there's all this kind of movement tech that's happening where 3 or 4 players are getting into a battle that other teams would not be into. And I think that's why you see Native getting caught off guard back Hydro there and able to pick up all the kills that they needed to. Eco sneaks away with extra ball time, and only 7 points have transpired after that entire series of play. Still 61-8.
2 dead on the side of Native Gaming, made that 3. Eco's having some very, very big plays and influential plays on the map for his team as well. The way that he's picking up these kills and the way that he's creating opportunity and space for his team by doing so. So impressive so far in this series. Allows his teammates to get their hands on that odd ball again. The camo comes up once more, which gives even more of a dilemma now to Native Gaming, who are thinking, hey, do we play for kills? Do we play for the camo? We need the ball out of the hands, and Eco says you can do all of it. I'm going to come in and kill you all.
Unbelievable from Eco there, just laying down damage and also just holding forward, knowing that if he doesn't necessarily clean those kills up, there were going to be teammates in back elevator to clean them up themselves. 10 points to go in round number 1.
This has been a stifling hold on the pipes here.
Yeah.
And you can see Lqgend just needs 4 points left, knows there's a little bit of help coming in to keep him alive. He's hoping he can get away before the damage comes in, and that's SSG answering back to a close previous game, the 2-1 flag with a demanding and very encouraging game, round number 1, excuse me, in oddball.
Might have noticed there, Lqgend kind of drops the shoulders there, right? Lets out a big breath of relief there, knowing that they got that round so cleanly, and that was really interesting to see the body language there coming out of him. And I think it says 2 things. One, he knows that their team's working hard for wins like this, but also just, you can tell there's pressure, right? The fact that he's leaning forward, he's really doing everything he can in these rounds, and the round break gives him a second to drop the shoulders, take a deep breath, and now he's right back in, he's right back with camo.
And he's right back into the kill feed as well. Finds 1 after the damage was done by a teammate, a very easy pickup for him. And you imagine he's going to have his sights set on that shock rifle, which is still on that spawn platform as well. But before he even gets there, decides to help out a teammate to take down tapping buttons. It's a very strong start to this round once more from Spacestation Gaming. They've got the ball back in elevator. They've got aggression coming in from Lqgend for more kills. 2 dead for Native, 2 dead on the side of SSG. But you can see there's still such a distance for them to travel. Barcode the furthest forward. And Eco is just continuing to pepper damage across the map.
Yeah, interestingly, didn't get shocked there. Instead, and even though he had grapple, he decides to fight that battle on stacks. It was very aggressive. In the end, they will still control the ball. So I think that just tells you a lot about knowing how far they need to be forward and knowing which kills are the most important to cut off and make sure they finish it. Even though it cost them the camo, the grapple, and not grabbing shock, it has still resulted in control in back elevator this long.
Well, it looks like Native finally have managed to pick up a few kills in continuation. They broke the elevator. The only problem is the rotator's now come in and not been cut off until now. So the play ball's going to come in. The respawns from SSG will probably be a little bit closer to that ball, considering where Eco and StelluR are still alive. So that's like one of those frustrating moments for Native. It's like, we finally get the break. We finally managed to get some kills. But where the ball's been rotated and where the spawners are coming in, we're furthest away from the oddball once again.
Tapping manages to get 1, but of course he's immediately siphoned out of the whirlpool and taken down. 2 dead for SSG for a moment. We'll see if Native Gaming can convert and try to get a few more points on the board. But right now they are scoreless in our round number 2.
Eco thinking about challenging, decides to not challenge the player who has that shock rifle. Always a risk that you're just going to essentially go 0 for 1 without outputting any damage yourself. Lqgend is there to clean up some damage, and it's the 2nd camo in a row now for Lqgend, who's putting some stats on the board all of a sudden. Most objective time for his team, still positive, and he's got the 2nd most assists on his team as well. This time going to not make the most of that camouflage, but again, the damage and the kill that he got initially allows Bound to pick up that oddball and move it towards Eco. APG is trapped on an island right now. You can see he's just trying to play his life.
Also great power-up management there. You saw in the picture-in-picture. It was pretty dicey bottom middle with Shrouds and multiple players there for Lqgend to still come away, not only with the camo, but also alive was a big deal. And now they will continue scoring. SSG crosses the 50-point threshold.
And it feels like Native Gaming just cannot get that oddball in their hands and cannot pick up consecutive kills that make it a comfortable rotate away with that oddball. Another trade comes in, 3 dead for Native Gaming once more, and even though they break, it's the follow-up damage that is capitalized on by SSG once more to keep those numbers so heavily in their favor. APG with a big win, thanks to the help coming in from Gilkey, although it felt like he did have the advantage in that fight. And that oddball in a precarious position for both teams at the moment, but kills being exchanged. You have to wonder who's going to pick up these final 2, and again, it's always SSG who get that extra little bit of damage, that extra headshot nade, whatever it is to give them that numbers advantage.
Was 3 dead for just a second. Eco's your last player alive. Might even think about a grapple here with the ball. No, right away gets punished down back into pipes. By the way, got to shout out Bound. He's 21 and 12 at the moment across these 2 rounds. 60 to 45 overall kills in favor of Spacestation.
Eco decided to want a little bit of a closer look at that battle that was going down in and around the whirlpool there. Tries to grapple onto the damage that was done. And now with 2 dead for Native Gaming, you can see that Bound is going to pick that oddball up. Eco's going to try and clear that space of gold. Bound drops the ball to help out the teammate once more, gets that kill, and it's 3 dead for Native Gaming. So this pipe setup has been something that Native have really struggled to penetrate at all when SSG have had a full setup. And, well, if it couldn't go any worse at the moment, you've got StelluR with camo and shock, so
yeah, this one could be over soon. Also, you got to feel for Native Gaming there, just trying to get that ball out of pipes, but it stays on the ledge. Like trying to get your contraband substances off of the windowsill before you get chased out by the police. Haven't been there before. StelluR still hitting shots here. 81 points on the board, a double kill as well.
Just lining them up at the moment. It's so easy for StelluR when no one's looking at you, but it's much more difficult when someone's challenging. A beautiful triple coming in from StelluR with that shock, and that might have secured not just the game, but the series.
What a way to seal the deal. It's another one. 99 on the board. It'll be 100, and Spacestation Gaming comfortably win the series 3-1. They also win game number 4 with a score of 2-0. And maybe you got a little bit worried there in that game number 2, but let's not forget it was a 50-49 in the end, and I think Spacestation Gaming fans are going to be very happy with what they saw in terms of overall series performance and series score as well.
And certainly the little bit of a show put on by StelluR right at the end there. Everybody looks locked in for Spacestation Gaming today. A big day ahead for them. The same could be, of course, said for Native Gaming, but the series is done for now. It's 3-1, a victory on the side of SSG. We'll see you in just a few.